I believe this was on the first episode of the podcast. We had a whole conversation about Touch ID versus Face ID. Now, the sort of basis of this conversation was Face ID in 2021, the time when everybody's wearing masks. Obviously, Face ID is not ideal. Now, of course, Apple heard that podcast episode and, took it very seriously and have proposed a solution for us. Okay, so that probably didn't happen, but obviously it's been something that a lot of people have been talking about, and Apple has now come up with somewhat of a solution. So just to highlight this article here from Pocket Lint, it's around iOS 14.5, which is now out as a developer beta for those who have access and will be publicly available over the coming weeks. iOS 14. Now, there is a catch. So yes, Face ID will work when you have a face mask, but there's a key thing that you need to have, something that you don't have, and that is an Apple Watch.
Yes.
So
Yes.
technically, it's kind of like a cheat because it's using your Apple Watch. So Pocket Lint say here, Apple tells us that Face ID works just as you would expect with the new software. Your Apple Watch will give you some haptic feedback to let you know your iPhone has been unlocked. This is similar behavior to using the Apple Watch to unlock your Mac, which has been available for some time. Once again, your watch will need to be in close proximity to your iPhone. This process will work with Apple Pay too, so you don't need to remove your mask when you're stood at the counter. So, okay, there's a couple of things. I know what you're going to say. They're just trying to sell more Apple Watches.
No, actually, no, I wasn't going to say that. But go ahead, continue.
No, so obviously, people are not going to just go on and buy an Apple Watch purely for this, but I think it's positive because now, I've been in that situation many times. I'm in the supermarket, I've got a mask on, I want to check my shopping list. I pull out my iPhone and, I'm just like, oh, and it's just one of those things because you're so used to it, just unlocking straight away, that I'm just like, okay, I have to. I know it's totally a first world problem. I have to put in my password. How dare I have to put in my passcode in my phone? You know what I mean? But yeah. It is one of those things. It's inconvenient. I've got the Galaxy S21 Ultra in my other pocket, and I can just tap the fingerprint scanner, and boom, it's unlocked, nice and easy. Unless I'm wearing gloves, of course. But that is one thing, and obviously the ideal solution to it is to have both both Face ID and a fingerprint scanner in one device. That would be the ideal because then you're covered for all situations. However, Apple now has seen this from consumers who are now struggling with the whole mask situation and have provided this somewhat solution. I've not had a chance to test it as yet. I've not got the beta. I generally don't tend to download betas because I do use my iPhone as one of my daily phones, so I don't like being on a beta. But I think it's definitely a good move, and I think a lot of people will like it.
Oh, sorry, I was supposed to say something.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? I'm just
joking. To me, it kind of goes back to what I actually wanted to say originally was options. Something Apple doesn't give its consumers is options. And, when the argument years ago came up with Face ID versus fingerprint, it was safer, it's more secure. I'm all for that. I really am. I'm just saying, just give me more options because sometimes fingerprints, the pin, different scenarios. We never knew COVID was going to come, but here it is. I like the idea of using the watch. I think this is something they should have done actually much sooner than this. I just kind of looked at it as it's taking longer. Again, as you mentioned with the article, it's something you can do already with your MacBook. So I just kind of saw it as being, okay, finally it's here. I would just suggest don't run out and buy an Apple Watch if you don't need to use an Apple Watch. That's just my own.
That would be quite a hefty investment just to be able to unlock your phone when you've got a mask on. So I'm not sure how many people. I'm sure there will be some people, but I'm not sure how many people will be doing that. But I'd love to see the statistics because obviously the Apple Watch is the most popular watch in the world. Full stop. Not even like talking just smartwatches. It's the most popular watch, and a lot. I'm not saying all, but a lot of iPhone users do have an Apple Watch that goes with it, and for that large number of users, they'll have this option now. It's not going to be switched on by default. It is something that you're going to have to choose to switch on once you have the update, which will be coming in a few weeks, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a good thing. But I still want Touch ID on the next iPhone. I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to hear the full podcast episode, then that will be linked down below. And if you want to see more clips like this, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss them. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf Speaks, and I'll see you next time.